Hey besties, let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Now, Brahman, no, she hosted the best patriotic, messy boots party she could think about. Oh, she had it going on, child. Let's get into it, besties. Welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now let's kiki and ha ha get into another episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 12, First Amendment Rights and Wrongs. Ooh. Besties, how would you rate this week's episode? For me, thumbs up. I need you to thumbs up, thumbs down, or so the episode. And then while you're at it, drop down in the comments and let me know what you thought. Please like the video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and make sure your notification bell is on so that way you know each and every time I post my content, child. So Bronwyn go picks up her cheating husband. She got long hair in her confessional. Did y'all see that first confessional? She looks really cute with longer hair. I think I need her to grow her hair out just a little longer. So she's telling us that she's still mad at Todd a little bit, but she still chooses him to be her husband. So she picks him up from the airport. Now remember, she's always in a costume. So this time she picks him up in a sloth inflatable blow up costume. And I looked in the background, the kids are looking and laughing. She loves it. He gets a good kiki out of it. Cool. Wonderful. So she tells him that she got involved in the mess on the plane, and Whitney doesn't trust her anymore. And so he said, y'all all just need to just apologize. So in honor of her celebrating her U.S. citizenship, she thought to have a spill the tea Boston tea party. Oh, child. So she says she wants the ladies to have a reset and come together under a new constitution. So, honey, let's get into it. Honey, that little party was something else. So, besties, I have something to tell you. Jen Shaw is getting out of jail on December the 10th. Do y'all want her to come back? Should she replace Meredith? uh my thoughts, Jen Shaw, she paid her debt to society, I guess. But when she was on, she would just crash out so much. She would just flip out and get upset every other second. You remember her? Remember all the little parties she would have and how she would just get so frustrated, get so mad at everybody. Ooh, I don't know. She don't have to come back. But for some reason, Bravo likes a good old criminal. Because next week on Potomac, Andy's going to be talking to Karen. Well, let me get to this. Okay, so Whitney, she is at home outside drinking her wine, and she is trying to hold on to her cool. Child. So what happened was the vendors that she made the bad deal with, she got swindled out of her deal with her brand. Child, they took a big old payment out of her account. She didn't tell us how much, but it sounded like a lot of money, honey, because she's sitting out there trying not to flash on Justin. So she's telling him, her vision. She should have listened to her intuition. Her vision was to get her products into a big box company like Ulta, Sephora, Target, not the direct sales with MLM. So she said if she would have waited a little longer, she could have gotten her dream would have come true because she met the CEO of Sephora, right when she told Justin to go ahead with his idea. He wanted to get her to, $1 billion empire. And so she kind of felt pushed and forced into believing with Justin how Justin saw her vision. And this direct sale idea didn't work. She's sitting home with nothing. Uh, ugh. He said all he could say is sorry. He could see her resentment. He thought this was it. He didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know. And it's like, Justin, when you don't know things, you should ask for advice. It's just strange to me that you guys are in business and have done things and you don't have attorneys to ask, to read over the contracts. You don't have attorney friends. You don't have, like, I have resources. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you need an electrician? Got one. Oh, a plumber? Got one. An attorney? Got one. Oh, you need a pastor, a minister, somebody to notarize some paperwork, got that. And it's like, how don't y'all know how busy? Y'all, this wasn't your first rodeo. Whitney, where are your lawyers? So she's struggling not to be mad at him, and it's hard to separate the business from the marriage. So, of course, the marriage is suffering. She ain't giving him none. Every time she see him, she want to spit. And I really hope that they can work through this because this is hard. And it reminded me of Jill Scott when she married her first husband. When she first hit the scene, I think his name was Lied. I don't know the song. He loves me. Something flat, E flat in Lydell. Is his name Lydell? Anyway, she was married to him, first love, big love. They divorced because they couldn't separate marriage and business. So not a good idea. So she lets him know that this beauty brand was her everything, and now it's gone. So yeah. And what do you say to that? So we move over to Heather. Her youngest daughter is graduating from high school, and she will be heading to Tampa University. And this will be the second kid that is going to college in Florida. The daughter that was there with her, helping her decorate the little, the last one's bedroom. She goes to the University of Miami. Heather is very happy and proud of these kids, but she is more happier to become an empty nester. She can't wait. So Bronwyn is at home. She's supporting the alphabet community, and so in Utah, she found out that the government buildings in Utah will not allow them to display the flag, the rainbow flag. So Bronwyn has a spreadsheet of all the businesses that are not government oriented. She has their addresses. She has all the flags. She goes to a adult store to get the flags, and she's going to mail them out and have them, display the flags. And in doing this project, she's talking to her mom, and her mother finally tells her she's a good mom and she's great. And, Gwen is the best thing that ever happened to her. And, remember, her mother was never told her that she was proud of her. Her mother never expressed love. She always, should assume that she loves her, but never said the loving words. Some people need to hear it. A lot of us need to hear it, feel it, hear it, see it, touch it, feel it, but hearing from your parents is a must, okay? So her mother says she was proud of her, and then she blames her own parents for not being expressive to her. And she said that's because, they always expected more. Like they don't really want to tell you they're proud because they want you to do more and more. Like, so they'll never be satisfied. And I'm glad she broke that. I'm glad she's seeing. She's probably reading the blogs and hearing from us how we didn't like how she came off to Bronwyn, and she's doing better. So good for everybody who has something to say. I think mom's read everyone's comments. Because, honey, mom done got her some act right. I wonder what happened. Because she's so nice now. And, you know, her and Browen seem to be enjoying one another's company. They still have some opposites, but that's okay. She's coming along. She's getting better, and that's good. You're never too old to learn. So Brittany is telling Whitney and Heather about her meetup with Meredith last week at the park. Brittany tells them that Meredith apologized to her for hurting her feelings because they were like, why? She apologized for yelling at you? Well, no, she apologized for hurting my feelings. No. So they were like, well, y'all not going to be friends. She said, we're not going to be friends. You know, we just didn't want to harbor bad feelings. Whitney said she couldn't do it. It couldn't be her. She couldn't do it. Because, you know, Whitney is all about accountability and she will hold Meredith's feet to the fire. And Meredith, for some reason, she is not folding. She is standing 10 toes down that she was not yelling on that plane. Yeah, so Whitney says, you know, Meredith needs to be held accountable, what I just said. So Lisa's telling Meredith that her and Brittany's new chapter won't last. Oh, it won't last. Oh, goodness. Okay, Lisa, when you're right, you're right. So they all get to a loading dock. This is where Browen wants them to meet for her party. They don't understand. It's kind of confusing on what's going on. Angie was the first to show up, and she's dressed like Betsy Ross. You know, everyone has to dress like a founding father. This is patriotic. We're talking about the Boston Tea Party, the 1700s. So everyone pretty much had it, you know, some sort of the theme, except for, you know, Lisa. Lisa looked like she was getting ready to go ride on one of her fake horses. But she does the best she can. You know, Lisa's not into themes, and she likes her hair the way she likes her hair. She don't want to. What sign is Lisa? Do we know? Because I know from my profession, I don't want to call nobody out. Just let me see. Is Lisa a Virgo? Lisa Bar. Child, wait. Did we spell her name right? Lisabarlo. Birthday. Is she an Aries? What is she? December 14th. You gotta be kidding me. She's a Sagittarius and her birthday is next Sunday. That's the day after my mom's birthday, y'all. Sagittarius. Okay. Okay. So, no, I was gonna say Capricorn women, they like to be the same. They pretty much they don't like change. And you know, hey, she's close enough. Capricorn starts the next week. So anyway, maybe Capricorn is in her chart. Okay, so let's see where Okay, so Browen has wigs for each lady when you know, she finally pulls the roller door up and they're all like, hey, and she's all in her garb looking like, you know, George Washington or something. And so she did very, very well with the theme of this party, honey. She got the harbor water running through, not real water, but she has the prop up. She just has oh my God, she did a good job. So when they come into the warehouse, honey, it is 1773 all over again. And the theme was theming, honey. So she tells them about the revolution of the Tea Party and the Constitution, honey. Then Mary arrives late. She has a hat on. She sees the wigs and she's like, oh no, oh my gosh, no, no. She said, puh. She busts out her own wig. I got my own wig. So she puts it on. Then she puts her hat back on and she's like, oh, I look so ridiculous. No, you didn't. So Browen served hot dogs and she swear they was so good. And Mary was like, I'd rather go to McDonald's and get a filet of fish, a fish fillet, whatever y'all call it. Some people call it fish fillet. Some people call it filet of fish. But that's what she wants. She says she knows what's in it. And I'm like, well, Mary, can you tell me what's in it? Because they said all that stuff down at McDonald's ain't real. So what you think is in it, girl? So, but hot dogs are scraps of everything. So, yeah, I don't know, Mary. I think it's, tomato, tomato. So they all have a seat and are now taking a, history lesson from Bronwyn. All she doing is studying and trying to get these answers correct. So all the ladies got to pretty much flunk their test. Production asked them about the Constitution. Nobody knew what the 10 commandments, the 10 amendments were the Bill of Rights. They saying everything else. And one of the ladies is an attorney. Did you know, Meredith, Marks is a lawyer? How the attorney, the lawyer, don't know the Bill of Rights? We didn't expect much of Lisa, but anyway. Hey, Lisa girl. Now, Brittany wants the ladies to write, Brittany or Bronwyn? Bronwyn wants the ladies to write the name of who they've spilled tea on. And it's like, girl, what? No. But the idea, Bronwyn's idea is to spill the tea. You know how they poured the tea all into the harbor and polluted the harbor to fight for, the union. That's what Bron wants to do. She wants to spill the tea and make amends and start new friendships. So Heather says, they tried this before in Puerto Vallarta, and it didn't work out too well for Bronwyn. And she's like, you sure you want to do this again? She's talking in her confessionals to us, not to Bronwyn. Angie did. So Angie goes first. It seems like Angie always goes first. She's very brave. She don't care. She want to get it out. So she did not believe that Lisa bought a horse. Lisa told them, honey, she bought a horse. And it was none of their business. So don't be asking. And she didn't think it was a big deal. Angie had talked to other people and heard otherwise. People have said that no, she rented that horse. What y'all think, besties? Did Lisa Barlow buy a horse or did she rent one? Lisa said, this ain't no big deal. I can't believe you're making a big deal out of it. And you know what? I'm going to buy another one. I'm going to buy another one. And it's like, Lisa, you are lying. And let me tell you why she's lying, y'all. Just like somebody said, honey, if Lisa bought a horse, she would be all over Instagram with that horse. And I'm like, yep, if it ain't on Instagram, it's not real. Hello. So Brittany says she don't have no tea to spill, but she wants to know who said she was flirting with Jawau on the super yacht. They ran the footage back. She said, yeah, because whoever went back and told, Jared got a hold of the information and we broke up over it. I'm like, no, Brittany. Y'all was on a 30-day break. What are you talking about? Y'all was on I guess you still go together. You're just on a break. You don't break up. You're together, but you're on pause. Okay, maybe. So I don't understand it. And nobody else does. Mary was like, oh my God, not Jared. Harry said, but you kissed him. No, I didn't. Then Brittany said, oh, I kissed him on the cheek. So production shows that Whitney was telling Justin how proud she was of Brittany for moving on and flirting and doing all this and all that. So honey, clock that. Justin told Jared. Yep, that's how that went. So Heather's tea is, she kind of talked about Todd making out with someone and farting. She thought that was funny. Bronwyn is going, you think it's funny? No, it's not. Throw the effing box over into the harbor. Then Heather apologizes because Bronwyn getting ready to knock her out. Ooh, that was funny. So Mary was like, that was good, Heather. So Bronwyn is like, okay, I took something you told me. I took it back to Meredith just to warn her, and it upset you, Whitney. I apologize for spilling the tea. Honey, Whitney is like, why didn't you stop me from saying that? Huh? How's somebody gonna stop your grown self from saying something? Oh, don't say it. Stop, don't say it. And so she said, I've apologized. That's Browning. Here go Whitney. She ain't paying no attention to the apology. She don't want to hear it. She was like, I was confiding in you in a private conversation. Now I can't trust you. Well, I'm not the keeper of you. I didn't ask you to be. Whitney's like, well, now I look bad to Meredith. Brown was like, well, you shouldn't have said it. I said, okay, and that's true. She's like, you shouldn't have said it. Don't talk about her behind her back. And Whitney's like, wow. She said, wow. So then Brown was like, hey, check this out. That's between y'all two. That don't have nothing to do with me. So you focus your anger over there. So Whitney was like, you think I'm going to talk to, you think I'm going to call the belligerent woman after all of that? I was fucking up. Now here go Meredith. You want to go there? What I said was the truth. Child. Whitney's like, that you didn't yell on the plane for like 6 hours taunting Brittany? No, I didn't. Whitney's like, can I have the crazy pill that y'all taking? Whitney's like, there were other witnesses on the plane, so stop calling me a liar, because that's what Meredith is gonna do. I didn't do it. You're a liar. She gonna call you a liar when she's the one lying. And so Whitney was like, oh, you want to go there? You be calling people names? All right, you alcoholic. And then pill popper. I'm like, Whitney. Whitney 2, Meredith 0. And everybody is looking, and Heather's eyes. I saw Angie's face, child, Brittany's face. Now Meredith stands up. I have a present for everybody. Mary like, what? Mary like, can I get some more alcohol, please? And thank you. This is the second time y'all gonna have Mary turn into a drunk or an alcoholic, because now this is the second time she didn't ask the server for more liquor. Okay, so the present is in a cute little bag, kind of remind you of a Crown Royal bag, but I think it was like a caviar bag or whatever. But it's a multi D rug urine test cup. I can't say the word, so I'm going to try to break it into two. And there's another word I'm about to break into 2 words, so hang in there with me, okay? So this multi-test, there's 7 tests. And it reminded me of the test, R.I.P. Kiki, that Melody on Love and Marriage Huntsville gave to Kiki. Oh, so Meredith is game to take the test, but she never takes the test. I could take this test every day. Meredith, then take the test. You didn't need to buy everyone in there a test. They not on D rugs. They just drink. You just needed to bring one and do it there for yourself. Angie said on the after show she was down and taken because she had to go to the bathroom anyway. And all you was gonna find in her sister was Ovaltine. I said, nah, not Angie being addicted, being I didn't say that. Not her being very well and overindulging in chocolate milk. Overindulging, that's what I'll say with that word. So she admits, Meredith admits that she may have a drink here or there and an occasional gummy. Yeah, right. So Whitney kind of put her cup up. And then here go Meredith. The one who should be taking it and accusing me put hers up. Whitney was like, baby, because I only drink alcohol and it ain't going to show up. So then they go back and forth and back again about the plane, the yelling, Brittany, the 7 hours of yelling, and da 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 da. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. Now Whitney says, Meredith goes to bed and then she wakes up madder than she was when she went to bed. Meredith is like, I can't think about it. I can't process. You can. So now Whitney is like, I'm just explaining my experience with you, Meredith, as Meredith is deflecting badly. Okay. You know, it's time for Meredith to pack it up. I'm sick of her. It's just like she doesn't even fit well into this circle of women. She's not sharing. We haven't been to her house this season. You know, don't she move? Because she doesn't live in Salt Lake City. You guys know that, right? I guess she live out there in Ohio with Seth. She comes to Utah and get an Airbnb to film. She admitted it last reunion. And it's just time for her to go, but I don't want her to be swapped out for Jen. This this show is doing very well without Jen. I wouldn't mind seeing Monica again. I wouldn't mind seeing Monica again. Yeah, but it might be time for Meredith to. She's becoming insufferable. Something's going on. There is something going on, and if it's not going to be addressed, then why don't you go address it off camera? Okay. I'm just tired of people who get to just ride the wave, like how Jackie been doing on Married to Medicine, just riding the wave. Like, Meredith, share some things with us. Share some things. So Lisa defends Meredith, as they keep going back and forth and back again. It's like she got to jump in like they playing double dutch. They going back and forth. And so here goes Lisa. She's like, well, instead of having compassion for Meredith, they label her crazy and an illegal user, and it's just like, oh, and it's like, girl, hush before they jump on you, girl. So Meredith is like, I did not yell on the plane. And I'm like, was she yelling right now? Are you kind of yelling right now? So Mary's like, yes, you did. I saw it and I heard it. And Heather joins the argument. You said, Meredith cuts her off. No, Heather. No, Heather. Heather was trying to say, Meredith said, if you're friends with Brittany, we're done. And Lisa said, she said it too. She said it. Was that last week? There was that Mary's. Yeah, that was last week when Lisa spoke up. Meredith is still denying it. It's like, God dang, Meredith. You heard of people that said they'll take something to the grave. Golly, Meredith. She is not folding. She don't care what none of y'all say. She is not folding. She gonna stick to this lie, baby. Oh, goodness. So then Heather brings up her apology text that she sent to Heather. Well, what was you apologizing for if you say you didn't say that? I didn't say I was sorry for what you say I did. I was saying sorry for my tone and lashing out at you if I did. Okay. Because moving on. Now Meredith is telling Heather she's lying. Heather is crying because she's trigged, and she was like, I was there. And here go Meredith. I did nothing wrong. No, that's Heather telling Meredith that she did nothing wrong because she was there. Oh, goodness. So she's telling Meredith what she should say to make everything go away. That's what Heather's good for. She gonna say, why don't you just say blah, 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 blah. And Meredith is like, nope, move on. Oh, God, I can't take it. Meredith is not changing nothing. It's really giving, if you are in this much denial, maybe you was popping some pit like Meredith. And what's up with her face and her mouth? She kind of looked like, not really, but cerebral palsy, maybe Bell palsy. Like, is she getting so much work done? Her face looks like it shifts, and her mouth, like she talks from one side of the mouth. Like, did the woman have a stroke? Meredith, it might be time to go. You can come back. You might just need to sit out one more season. Okay, y'all, let me keep going. So Brahman wants to move forward and set new rules. Okay, so now we get into the friendship amendment. Okay, so Brahman says family is off limits. Heather says be a woman of your word. Lisa says be the friend you expect others to be. All right, now, Lisa. Mary says hear and forgive. Very good. Whitney says business, marriage, and children are off limits. Angie could have done better, but I guess she was in the moment. She just said, don't talk about people who don't have documentation. She's talking about herself. Who is she talking about? Don't talk about people who don't have documentation. So that's Bronwyn? Because Angie is a citizen. She's just trying to get citizenship over there in Greece. And Meredith, they was like, you got to come up with one. And she said, what did she say? Stop the reactive abuse. And honey, Whitney had to pull it up. Like, what does reactive abuse mean? And she said, she read the definition. She said, oh, this is Meredith talking about herself. Child, that Whitney is a key, honey. Woo, that Whitney is a key. She is funny to me. You hear me? Okay, besties, that was the end of the episode. What else did I want to say? Okay, besties. 4 shows to review and recap is enough. My schedule for the shows is Saturday, Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Sunday, Potomac and Married to Medicine. And then Tuesday, Salt Lake City. We are at episode 12 with Salt Lake City. I heard there's only going to be 3 more episodes and then a reunion. So normally they stop at 16 or 17 episodes, and 18, 19, and 20 is the reunion. I am not going to be able to take on Beverly Hills. I'm not. It's just going to be I'm not going to be able to do it. 4 shows is enough for me. Especially, it's enough. So I don't know. Maybe I will watch Beverly Hills. I will have to start recapping it after one of these other shows go away. You know, there was a time where Bravo would have 1 Real Housewives on at once. Then they went up to 2. That was perfect. And now they're doing like 3. Yeah. This coming Thursday, there will be 3 Housewives on. Yeah, Salt Lake City, Beverly Hills, and Potomac. I ain't gonna be able to do it. And I like Beverly Hills, but we'll see, child. I don't know, y'all. I might have to sum it up real quick in like 2 sentences because the sister has to go to work. And I'm busy towards the end of the week. But anyway, enough about that. I will let you know. We'll have to play it by ear. Maybe, I don't know. I think what I said is what it is. I may just have to start it in the middle when one of these other shows go. I'm not doing 5 shows. That's a lot. But anyway, besties, please share the video. Like, subscribe, notification bell. And I'll be back with another recap. It probably won't be Beverly Hills, and it might be Beverly Hills, but I don't know. Bye, besties.